G'day, this is Blxz and welcome to Unreal World. I'm going to be running a bit of an LP on this one, just for a bit of fun, and we will see how it goes. I am by no means a particularly good player at this game, much like all roguelikes, but I do enjoy this game a little bit, and as a lifetime supporter of Unreal World, I have access to the new graphical version, which is slightly updated. The game is free for anyone to download, I believe, but these new versions that come out are, I guess, made available a little bit earlier to lifetime supporters, back when the game used to be a paid thing. Sammy, which is the guy in the background there, is the developer, and he has basically been working on this pretty much by himself. He has a friend who helps with some coding every now and then, although I don't know the extent to which the other fella actually contributes. But so it's basically the two of them working on the game. And if you are interested in this game, I will have a link down in the description to the website and forums where you can go and check it out. So what we're going to do today is actually run a saved character that I've started off. And ooh, that is very odd. Give me a few seconds, I will go find that save file. Alrighty, here we go. That is true professionalism, as you expect from me. Unprepared. So I started off, there's a whole bunch of different scenarios you start the game with. I chose the Lonely Settler simply because I like the fact that it starts you with a bunch of axes, and metal tools are very difficult to get. So starting off with them is an interesting start for me. Saves all that running around and travelling trying to find axes. So I've started off a little bit earlier simply because I am not a very good player. I don't need to know that, thank you. Not a very good player at the beginning, so it can be very hit and miss whether I survive. I may do a future series where I begin and create my own character, but to start with we have Amber Kumolainen, whatever her name is. Amber because it was the first girl's name that came to mind, and a female because the new sprites look better with a female. The male is too big for me, and I can't tell what square I'm standing on. So I have to get used to the new graphics set. And yes, this is the upgraded graphics. Spectacular, I know. So you can see down here in the bottom right is the things that I'm standing on. Got a hunger, thirst, which are different. Hunger is more of how empty your stomach is. At the moment I'm starving. The bar is full. Nutrition is actually how well off you are. So for example, I can drink a lot of, turn behind me, drink a lot of water from this hole in the ice, and actually fill my stomach up and not be hungry. But because water has no nutrition, I will gradually starve to death. And this will get worse and worse, and then I'll begin to starve up here. You can see I've accumulated a few things. I have a little shelter. I'm wearing skis on my feet. I have a few furs that keep me warm when I sleep, and I am drying basically a rainforest. A forest reindeer. I'm drying all the cut up bits of meat from it. So I'm on my way to surviving. I'm still not out of the danger zone, but things are looking up for me. I have what have I got? I've got a decent amount of food. So actually let's start off by eating. And you can see now that took down my hunger bar, so it's about half a pound of meat. I don't know, it's all in pounds. I'm a metric person, so 250 gram steak I just ate, which surprisingly this guy can keep going. It's only half filled him up. So that's actually a wrong picture. My character's a female, but she can keep. She's a hungry girl. She likes a big steak. So it's brought my nutrition up. So let's just have another one. We'll go. Smoked food lasts longer, so I'll start with the roasted ones before they go bad. So have some more reindeer. And a grouse has entered my vision. I'm not going to stop, I'm going to keep eating. So, and have a drink from the water and the ice before that freezes over. So what have I got here? I've got This is on the ground. Looking at the ground here, I have javelins. Let's have a look at my skills. I actually haven't played this character for quite a while. So my skills, I am terrible at agriculture, pretty decent at building, cooking. These do level up. You can tell how fast they level up by these little asterisk things on the side. So 3 being the best, 1, which I haven't got any, I've got a well balanced character, 1 being the worst, and 2 being mid-range. So I could, you know, eventually train up my agriculture skill, but that character's not really doing that kind of thing. I'm going to have to build a house at some point, although it's only spring, so surviving winter is still a long way off. I'm pretty average at cooking, I'm terrible at herb lore, I'm not a very good doctor, weather lore completely incompetent at, although I suppose I can still do it and level it up quite quickly. I can't swim, excuse me, I can't swim at all, so I will die in just, you know, if I step into that water and fall through the ice, I will die very quickly, and I'm rubbish at climbing. This character is a hide-working, stealthy spear hunter, or javelin hunter, although a bow I'm not completely incompetent at either. So I am going to, what's my inventory? Let's drop the, no, let's keep that hand axe in case I need to make a fire later. So I'll pick up some javelin. Let's do a ritual. What's that one that takes? Oh, I've got to go see a go to a village and have a shaman teach me that red one. So I'm ready to level up, so to speak, if there is such a thing as leveling in this game. I'm going to do a hunting incantation. Now this is sort of the game's equivalent of magic, and like all, I guess, well-balanced magic or rituals, they don't appear to have any effect. I actually don't know what the effects in game are, and they're never actually explicitly released or told what the effects are. So you either do them or don't do them, it's up to you. And I guess like true Iron Age Finland, which is where this game is set, it's do you believe in them or not? So I am actually going to do that ritual. It takes me 10 minutes, which is not very long. 10 minutes, you can actually watch the timer over here, it'll tick up. So it's already been 10 minutes for my character. And we'll now zoom out to the overworld map. Now this is all this white plain around me is like a lake, a frozen lake. So I actually don't want to walk out there or ski out there, because I will probably, oh no, it's a house. I thought it was an elk or something. That's where I started. That's a partially built house, but it's too far from any water to be practical. You can see I can see over these plains quite well if I zoom in on them. You know, they're big open sort of plain areas. This is all just snow and field, and when it melts at some point. But then down here in the forest, you can see I can't see very far in front of me, which is a little claustrophobic. I tend to set up around these fields so I can see. There doesn't appear to be any wildlife, and wildlife is very scarce, a bit like, I guess, the real world. So hunting, being a hunter, as I've chosen to be, is a risky profession. And you can see up the top here, it's already late afternoon. My character's been skiing around, getting tired, although skiing is better than walking through snow. And it's now snowing. Doesn't look like it was a successful hunting trip. Probably a good idea to get back to our little shelter before we freeze to death. Although we've got, what am I wearing at the moment? I've got a decent amount of fur clothing. Armor colour, that's the word. Ooh, it's loud music. So you can see here my warmth. So only my hands, feet and face are actually going to get cold. And even then, I've still got gloves and things that'll keep me reasonably well prepared. But nothing appeared to turn up this day, so let's go back to sleep. Oh, where the hell? Okay, that's not good. This actually zoomed me in on the ice. Thankfully I can get off in one square, because I will probably fall through that. Oh, hang on. There's tracks here. Grouse, but it's old tracks. So it's probably that grouse that I saw when I was doing my... was eating my food before. Early evenings, you can tell we're coming into summer now. Oh, actually we are in summer. Didn't even notice that. We are in summer. And it's probably why it's so bright, even though we're in the early evening. I don't recall the snow, the ice staying here for so long in previous versions of the game, but when I have a look at my map, it's sort of hard to see because I've only explored that tiny area. I think I'm fairly far south. I know what the map looks. It looks like Finland basically. So this dark blue here, they're actually islanders. So that's all sort of ocean, and these are zones of control of the different tribes. And you can see the different tribes over here on the right. I'm from the Calmo. I don't know how to pronounce that. So these are the different playable tribes you can be, and you can go visit them. They've all got different villages. The northern ones, like these guys up here, the Owl tribe and the Kuka, etc., tend to live in, it's my people, in the sort of the northeast, tend to live more in light villages and whatnot, and even little like yurts, or I forget what they call them, but like little hide tent things. Whereas the people down here, the Greek, almost proto sort of civilization-y. They've got little towns and they do some iron working and whatnot. And playing as one of them, you tend to be, on average, a much weaker character for physical pursuits, but you're quite good at, I guess, things like wood carving, and I'm not sure. I think the islands are very good at fishing, just innately. But you can have a good hunting character who's one of these. It's just a more difficult start. So I'm actually fairly far south. I'm surprised there's still so much snow on the ground. Thigh deep snow, so it's reasonably deep snow. Nice, yeah. I don't know. I haven't played this version for very much. This is my first game in it. But how long until the reindeer cut? So you can see it was actually 2 separate reindeer that I found down the bottom here. So 14 days until it's ready. It takes about 25 days, I think, until a reindeer can dry, or the meat can dry. And dried meat will last for a long time, so this will keep me going for quite a while, provided I don't starve to death in the next 14 days, which is unlikely. Especially when I've already got a bit of food on me. But this smoked bear cuts, I haven't actually killed a bear. I killed a human who was carrying bear cuts, so yeah, they've stopped casual cannibalism. Early games you'd be able to just kill people and eat them quite easily. They've stopped that now that you've got like an aversion to cutting meat before what's the word? They won't let you cut meat unless you're starving. You won't be able to cut human meat. So at some point I'm going to need to build a shelter. That's what I'm thinking about now. I actually do quite like this little area. It's reasonably defensible, so I'm unlikely to be attacked by what's that button? This one here. The Nezapit, I don't know how to pronounce it. Jerpzit. These guys are like they're unspecified, but they're sort of like Russian tribesmen, I guess, coming off the east. They tend to carry more metal weapons. They come on raids, and yeah, they're over here. And they do tend to migrate west over time, set up little villages and whatnot, and or little individual hunting parties that can spawn near you and hunt you down. But not really an issue. And I'm going to need a house, is the thing. So I do want to be near water. I'm just not sure exactly. Well, I don't want to build it here. That would be a terrible location because there's no trees nearby. I'll have to haul the logs a long way. Odd berry shrubs. So these are, they've all these different modifiers, odd berries. So this is a particular berry that my character does not know, and it's almost greyed out, the image. It's not as clear as, for me visually, as if I knew what it was. I can look at the general shape of it and maybe remember from a past game, but not ready for harvesting yet. And it's odd. The next game I play, it may be called a charming berry or a cute berry or something like that. So it doesn't actually go from game to game. So I can't look up on the wiki what is an odd berry. I have to either eat them and check. Some of them can be poisonous, or I have to have herb lore, and my character would know more about them then. So I'm just looking for a nice area to build a house. And I don't know where I want to start. I want a flat area. These little hills I'm walking over, you can see they're sort of blocking my sight a little bit. But so this is water here. A lot of people advocate actually building on an island, but I'm not a huge fan of building on the islands. I don't enjoy using watercraft very much. As a character who can't swim, that would not be probably not a very good idea to do. Got a feather, pick that up. Looks like there's been a good thing about winter, or I guess summer season. The good thing when the snow's falling is it's very easy to see tracks of animals, especially light ones like birds. In the summer, it tends to be a lot more difficult to hunt down animals, but I'm not going to follow it out in the ice because I'm a much bigger animal, and that would be death, especially in the cold. There you go. So I've just crossed that. Loading there was actually me crossing one of those overworld, one tile on the overworld. So you can see my character can actually hear this grouse is somewhere near here. It probably lives around here. So there's old tracks, but it's somewhere in the area. Not that it matters. It probably only gives me 2 or 3 cuts of meat if I find it, although a couple more feathers will allow me to make arrows. This is probably not a bad area to build. It's it's a good square shape. There's a couple of trees here. Probably make a. Where am I? Oh, there you go. I'm actually not far from my little area down here. Oh yeah, there you go. See, the ground's a bit steep here to build on. I think you can build on it, but then the floor has these hills, sort of like these little ledges in the background. I don't like that. I think it looks ugly. This is the other option. I could build here. And if I have a south-facing door, that probably does make water very quick and easy to get in the morning. So what have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have a good 6x7 house here, which is a pretty big house. I've seen some very elaborate ones, but that's pretty big for what I'm going to need. I'll have a bit of empty space in the middle, and be able to seal it off. I reckon this is where I'm going to start building. Yep. Okay, let's go grab the axes I'm going to need. I'm going to drop my javelins because weight is not something I really need at the moment. So the way things work, I've got a carrying penalty, fatigue penalty, and they affect my movement speed. Excuse me. They affect movement speed and a whole range of things. And this is sort of the total negative I've got. This also affects things like how well I do a particular task. If I'm heavily encumbered, or very tired, or injured, or something, or starving, even things like throwing a javelin, even though my 90% skill, and I'm throwing at, say, a big easy target, if I'm tired, I might completely bugger up that throw and miss it. So that's something to consider. broad axe, splitting axe. I think that's all I'm going to need. So you can see how I've been doing a lot more moving on this zoomed in map, and the time hasn't moved very far. When you're actually moving on the zoomed out map, it factors in moving individually from every square through. So actually each square on the main map is a much longer step. But enough of that, let's begin my... So hand axe is actually apparently the best for cutting. There you go, mastery in timbercraft is significantly degraded to being fatigued. So that's the big thing. I'm actually cutting a much lower efficiency. Now the hand axe is not the best tool here. It's pretty good. It's better than my other axes, for cutting down trees at least. But it's taken me a long time. It's very tiring. But it's not the best axe. I think you can get a felling axe or something like a woodsman's axe. And I'm too tired to keep going. Let's wait a few turns. Let's wait a lot more turns. And then continue our task. That'll do for now. And we finished. So there's only a tiny bit left to go. So my character's getting pretty tired at the moment. I think I'm going to call it an evening here. It is late evening. So go sleep and continue building tomorrow. Okay, so I heard something rustle in the middle of the night. Now this could be, could be a grouse or something running around, a little bird. It could be my imagination, or it could be one of those Nerpez people coming up and trying to kill me in the middle of the night. So it doesn't appear to be anything. I'll go back to sleep. If I die, I die. Okay. Small hours of the morning. So as we're coming into summer, it is, well, the summer season at least. Swidden month. So I don't know what these mean, what Swidden month means, but again, like I said, I'm not a particularly good player at this game, but I do know how things work. So, well, I know how some things work. So it's a bit of fun anyway. I enjoy this game. I think I might actually call this episode here. I'm just going to play this. It's a bit of fun. I enjoy it on the side. I can't imagine it will have a huge amount of draw for a lot of people. But if you enjoy it, make sure to like and subscribe and come along and enjoy the view. I'll see you next time. Take care.